What? What? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is... What day is it? What is time? I think it's Wednesday. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. in Australia. Want to do a thing real quick. Hang on a minute. Wait. You can see all the blemishes in my face. Let's talk about all of this. This is me to you. It's Wednesday, 8 p.m. This is Technically Speaking Live. I am your host, Scott Peachy. You can find me on the tweet machine at Scott Peachy, at the Scott Peachy on Instagram. See, that would have been really slick, but I messed it up. But that's okay. And I'm going to bring it back to Doc, because I've noticed as I'm switching cameras, which is fine. Anyway, that was me just playing. I've literally wasted the first 3 minutes of the show doing nothing but switching cameras, talking to myself. Yeah, that's what I do. We got a pretty good show for you today. We do have someone back from his vacation. He decided, literally, no joke, last week I had Scotty Boombox on the show. Love Scotty Boombox, longtime fan of the show, a good friend of mine, absolutely love it. But there was somebody that normally attends the show, and he goes by Stats. Now, I knew that he was on vacation. So, well, I appreciate that, Miss Sheila. Scotty Boombox doesn't have anything on me. He has a kind of better velvety, more bassy voice, but I've got him by at least 100 pounds. Easily at least by 100 pounds. But I digress. That's not the point. I knew that good friend of the show, Stats, close friend of mine, he was on vacation last week. I decided, well in advance of him going on vacation, that he was not going to be on the show because, I don't want to. He would have been calling in from Memphis. That's right, Miss Sheila. Stats was in Memphis, and I don't know if he told you, and you can yell at him when he comes on, but I wasn't going to have him on the show just because he was enjoying his vacation. It was a great time. Totally fine. Wasn't upset about it. However, he texted me legitimately 40 minutes until the show starts. Roughly 40 minutes, definitely within an hour, definitely within the 60 minutes. And he was like, hey man, sorry, but I'm not going to be able to make the show tonight because, dinners with families or whatnot. Now, again, keep in mind, I had no intentions of him being on the show because, again, the man's on vacation. He works hard. He should play hard. And I sent a text message that I kind of, in hindsight, realized I was really an a-hole. It just kind of came to me, and I go, ooh, that could have been real bad. I said, I mean this in the most loving way. I wasn't going to have you on the show tonight. And it was kind of one of those yeah, I love you, but you're dead to me. That type of situation. But I'm glad that he's back. He is currently quarantining in his home because... obviously, he went out of state in Ohio, and there is a mandate that says you need to quarantine for 14 days. So I will bring Mr. Stats on, and Stats, I'm going to tell you well in advance, Miss Sheila's not happy with you. So Stats, welcome to the show, my friend. Welcome. Stats, how you been? Thank you.
Very glad to be back. The sound of your... what I can only assume is 47th Diet Mountain Dew of the day. Reminded me that my beer is sitting on the table behind me. So as soon as I get through our intro here, I'm going to go grab it. But
you're an amateur.
But yes,
amateur hour.
I was away for a week. I'm out of sync. I'm out of the game. So, but yes, it was a lovely vacation at home. And yes, Miss Sheila, you are absolutely right. I did not reach out to you, and that is no one's fault but Scott's. I did have a lovely time with my family, and Miss Sheila, as the next time I go back to Memphis, as long as the social distancing rules have been relaxed, I will absolutely buy you dinner.
No offense. Look, social distancing aside, I'm going to call you out here, homie. You know I got nothing but love for you. She sent us ribs from another state. Social distancing doesn't really apply to being able to take her dinner. I'm just saying.
That's true.
That bus.
That's true.
Beep, beep, that bus. I'm going to back over you. So I'm going to take you off the channel. You go get your beer real quick. I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to remove his camera, and I'm going to go to hopefully. Oh, nope. I'm going to do double Scots. Double Scots all the time. Now this is just be me. So what you're looking at right now is me on a Canon EOS R. Stats is, I don't know, doing something. He's probably getting a drink. But Mr. Mayor, welcome. So glad that you're on the show. Josh, thanks so much for stopping by. It's good to see you too, my friend. Modern Day Tech. Alan, welcome for coming by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do have a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of interesting things coming out, and the world is fundamentally changing where we are. And I got to be honest with you, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. And Stats, I'm going to go back to this one and bring Stats back in. My friend Stats, welcome back. Did you get your beverage?
I did.
Good.
Today, I am drinking a Ricky. Give him the heater.
Give him the heater,
all
Ricky.
the way down from Jackie O's in Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Ooh,
hence the yellow beer.
Welcome. Yellow Springs, Ohio. Heyo. Okay, well, so like I mentioned before, the world is changing, and I got a bone to pick with Stats. Is I'm doing a water challenge with my family. So as a matter of fact, this is not my 47th. This is actually number 1 for the day. Haven't even had a Red Bull. Contractors POV, welcome to the show, my friend. Haven't had a Red Bull, but I did have 64 ounces of water. And 24 ounces of coffee.
Well, I mean, coffee is just, bean flavored water, so that's fine.
I agree.
And while I did not have 64 ounces of water today, I probably had 36 or 40. All 40 ounces of my water was from Memphis.
Oh, you jerk. So, all right. So here's another thing. It's like, okay, I'm in Ohio. Well, I guess Stats is also technically in Ohio. And for those folks, and Miss Sheila will know this, no other folks will know this unless you've been to Memphis and you've had the water from Memphis out of the tap. That's the craziest phenomenon. What I'm about to tell you is exactly the water from the tap. It is incredible. It is the best water I have ever had. It's better than any bottled water you can find anywhere. Like, it's incredible. The water is so pure. It's so crisp. It's amazing. So I'm gonna speak directly to the people here. See, this is how serious it is. I even took Stats off the screen for this one. The Memphis water is by far the best water you can possibly drink in the history of ever. There is no better water on the planet. I'm convinced. I take that back. The only place you might get better water is straight from a freaking glacier itself. That's the only place that I can find water that's that good. Memphis water is the best. And he brought me back a gallon that was gone within 5 hours of it being back in Ohio. Like, it was that quick. And so I'm bringing Stats back, so sorry. That's right, I'm doing all the camera tricks today, and I see that this one's a little bit glitchy, so I got to figure out what that's going on with that. But, yeah, Miss Sheila's right. Saw it coming, Memphis water. Incredible. Oh, my God. It's the best water I've ever had in my life.
I will say that that camera angle, whichever one you're filming that one on, is super duper nice. That one probably, whenever we're back in the same room and I'm back in my true role as an executive producer, I want that one turned around looking at me.
The one I was just talking to, it was just me one-on-one.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Which one is that?
That's an iPhone.
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's Andrew said that video as well. That is an iPhone 11 Pro Max. So, I mean, really, it's just an iPhone 11, pretty much, because it's the same thing. But I'm using software, and I'm going to have another video that's coming out this week specifically about using this software for things like what I just showed you. It's called eCam Live. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to try it. If you're a Mac user, I mean, it is a subscription-based service, but Andrew, you said it best. That video is wow. Like I am using the iPhone as a webcam, and that's what it looks like. That's just an iPhone plugged directly into my MacBook. That's it. It is incredible. Jason, thank you so much. Has Stats told you why the water is so good? Stats, please tell me why the water is so good in Memphis.
Well, it all started about 50 million years ago.
Okay, I'm going to need you to speed that story way up.
No, there's this thing called artesian wells, which are these giant underground caverns that lie underneath a lot of the area that Memphis is built on top of. And on top of the caverns are layers of rock and sand, and especially clay that was brought down by the glaciers over multiple ice ages over the history of the planet. But what that does is it acts as a natural filter. Hang on, I'm getting there. I'm real close. Natural filter that is 1 billion times better than the Brita that the people here in Ohio we have to have in our fridges or attached to our faucets. So the water that we drink, that you and I had Sunday when I was helping you doing manly stuff with chainsaws. Some estimates say that water landed on the ground in Memphis 2,000 years ago and spent 2,000 years filtering through all of those levels, getting rid of all the bad stuff, picking up some good minerals that are good for our bodies, and then Memphis just pumps it out of ground and sends it straight to the tap.
You're telling me I drank the sweat of 2,000-year-old cavemen?
Yep.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, that is the best sweat I have ever drank in my life. Not an ounce of salt. It was pure as the day I was born. Wait,
yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, let's move on. Andrew, I know. Andrew says, now I have a real reason to buy a phone. Dude, I'm telling you, I know, Andrew, you are a live streamer. I know it's a Mac-specific type thing, but there's so much you can do with the software. It's incredible. And I'll, again, talk all about that in my video this coming. I'll probably put it out on Friday, to be honest. It's done. But I go through the punishment of YouTube where if you put out back-to-back videos or anything like that, it just gets crushed by the algorithm. And I'd really rather not, because I want people to see this, because especially in today's day and age, having pieces of software like this really makes a tremendous difference. As you can kind of see, like multiple comments saying like, wow, that video is super crisp. It's super great. And I'm really glad that a lot of people see it. And this actually parlays nicely into one of the points that I want to talk about is the world itself is fundamentally changing, not only in a technological perspective, psychological and from healthcare. And like, there's obviously a fairly large global phenomenon that's happening right now. But what we're seeing swing and kind of the sociological, psychological, and technological, wow, that was a lot of logicals that I just threw out there, is nothing short of extraordinary. It's the stuff that's going on is not great. Like, obviously, I'm not going to downplay the human toll that has happened with things that's been going on. But one thing I do want to talk about is you're starting to see people shift and learn to do things a different way. One small thing that I read about is I said, you want to know how the pandemic that's going on has changed the world? Tinder, the dating app, that app next quarter is launching video dating because they've seen a huge decline in new users. So Tinder is now getting into the video dating space. You've seen... So that's the first thing, is like how that's going to work. I have no idea. I
wonder if their back-end security is going to be better or worse than Zoom.
Okay, so that's a good, interesting concept that you get into. Is like, I'm going to guess it's probably at least on par, because I don't know how it could be worse.
Good point.
So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. Let me do this really quick, because I like doing this.
You logging into your Tinder account?
No, I'm not logging into my Tinder account. I'm changing camera angles. God, I love this camera so much. Anyway, so this concept that the world is completely changing, Tinder's going to video dating, and that's awesome for people who are doing that because it's things that you can't do when you can't get outside. But you're also seeing things like Google Meet go free for everybody. I can just fire up a call, immediately have 16 plus people on a call if I wanted to. And, you're seeing family nights. Like my family doesn't live that far away, but now I can do things like rather than drive up there, having to get the kids, not go to bed on time, I can have these family events where I can basically stay in the comfort of my own home and enjoy my family and have that good family time where these video apps are exploding. So that's really where things like, let me go take this off. Nope. This video is really important. Like, look how good and crisp this video is. God, it shows every imperfection for the love of Jesus. So you're seeing this huge technological boom from a lot of these things that's going on. And I, for one, am just really excited about the fact to see what technology becomes, and it's not slowing down. Now, you might get into logistical problems where, I can't get the pieces and parts for a new phone or something like that, but you're seeing people use their devices for more than just swiping or liking a tweet or liking an Instagram. It's interesting to watch how the world is changing around us. So anyway, that was my diatribe. Stats, I would love to see if you would have anything to say about that.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, we are, I think, in two separate ways. One from a socio-political and socio-economic standpoint, but also from a technological standpoint. We are at one of those forks in the road as a society that this is going to be recognized not only for the generations that are living it, but for the generations to come. This will be a touch point in history that shows, what we did as modern humanity with all of the technology and all of the capabilities that we have as a society to, combat the illness that is ravaging the world. But then also, hopefully, and I'm going to knock on every piece of wood I can find. I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to, do whatever. Hopefully we use technology in such a way that we can move society forward past this current crisis and come out better on the other side.
I agree. And it's changing a lot. So 2020 is going to be one of those crazy years. And I promise that we're going to get back to the fun stuff here in a minute. And it's coming right now because 2020 is the crazy year where a lot of these great big conferences that normally a lot of people have to pay for are basically free to stream online. Excuse me. One of the big ones is WWDC, which is the Worldwide Developers Conference. I believe that's what it stands for.
Yeah, that's it.
With Apple. And it's free this year. Streaming on the internet, available to everybody. I am very excited about that. I watch their keynote every year, but it's not something that I normally get overwhelmingly into. And now this year, I kind of want to see what those things are doing. And then Google I/O obviously was canceled as a totally unrelated, yet it's related, but kind of a bummer. I actually had the ability to go to I/O this year. The one time I've ever had the ability to do it, had everything all taken care of, and then pandemic. Suck it, COVID.
Yep.
That sucks so bad. But rather safe than sorry. But who knows? Maybe I'll get a shot again next year or whenever it comes back. But my big thing is like they're now not having I/O anymore. They're having Android 11 is having a beta watch party, like sometime in June, I think. Google delays. So Ars Technica had it. It looks like it's the Android 11, the beta launch show, which is coming June 3rd. This month was supposed to be Google's biggest show of the year, Google I/O on May 12th, but it was completely canceled because of the pandemic. And now they're going to have the beta launch show, which apparently is the thing that's happening on June 3rd. And Apple's going online only for WWDC, which starts June 22nd, which is incredible. The idea for me is like, wow, like these huge developer conferences from major players in the space are going to be free streaming online for the masses. And I, for one, am really excited about seeing that. Andrew says the agricultural revolution, the industrial revolution, and the present digital revolution, the 3 most important events in human history. It's a great point. This is a crossroads in how the world is going to sort of come out on the other side. And I totally believe that we will. So we have that. I talk about that. Sorry, the actual camera. Oh, sweet Jesus. The actual camera's in the way from my my actual show notes. So let me see if I can move it up really quick. Stats, did you watch last week's show?
I didn't watch it, but
Awesome.
I listened to it.
You did listen to it.
I listened to it. But here's what I did. I played it on YouTube, so you get the watch minutes, but I was only listening to it through my
You're
headphones.
so sweet.
I
So
know.
who had the best read? Me or Boombox?
Oh, Boombox.
It has to be Boombox. He's so good.
Well, he has more practice.
I know he's really, really good. I feel like I got a short end of the stick on that one. I did. I'm just gonna say it. Oh God, I can't stop yawning now. Oh God. So this. See if I can get this in shot. These right here.
Oh wait, you actually have them in your hand now.
Shut up.
See, I was paying attention.
You were
last
paying
week.
attention. I think it's stupid. Whatever.
It was. I agreed with your little rant last week.
Yeah,
100%.
you agree with us. Like, who cares? Like, they're in my hand right here. So these are the Pixel Buds 2. The case is incredible. Let me tell you this much. This case, I cannot put it down. I constantly fidget with the case. Like,
so that's your new fidget spinner?
Yes, it's like super, just aesthetically pleasing. Like it's like, let me see if I can get a shot. It's like the most.
Is it hard plastic?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm sure
So
that was really bad, but I don't know why I did that.
It's not the fabric like
God,
the
no,
last time.
that fabric case is terrible.
I agree with the
awful.
design of the case, but I do like the fabric.
My God, these Pixel Buds right here, the case is incredible. I cannot stop fidgeting with the case. It's like an egg. Michael Fisher put it best. It is like it fits perfectly in an egg carton like an egg would, but it's not as round, obviously. There we go. So it's pretty thin overall. Actually, here we go.
You could do it like the influencer view. You could hold it up and put your hand behind it.
I'm not going to do that. Here's what I'm going to do, though. Why is the camera so jankety right now? Let me go to my other camera.
Yeah, switch to the Apple.
Yeah. I'm doing it. Oh, my God. All right, so here we go. So this isn't just the regular AirPods case. This right here is actually the Pixel Buds case. So you can see from a size perspective, they're relatively close. So, I mean, they're not terrible. Like, the Pixel Buds is a little bit taller, but from a pleasing perspective, my God, I absolutely love this case. Now I'm going to try to go back to another camera.
You know what that reminds me of?
No.
The Pixel one?
No.
It reminds me of Eevee from WALL-E.
It is a lot like that. Eve. That's a lot like what it is, but this case is just so pleasing. Excellent, Adam says. Absolutely agree. I can't stop fidgeting with it, and it's so satisfying. Like, wait.
It's like
ASMR.
it's like the sound you get from a good Zippo.
ASMR. It is so satisfying. I have no idea if that sounded terrible. I'm sure that it didn't sound great, but it's
fine.
so satisfying to like fidget with it in your hand. Oh my God, I absolutely love it. The sound. So I'll be honest, the sound on the Pixel Buds 2 is not as much bass as, let me move back there. Not as much bass as the Pixel Buds original. I was surprised by it. Now the seal is a lot better, I think personally, because it has like things that go into the ear, so it's actually in-ear canal. So it does get a little uncomfortable in the beginning if you're not expecting it. But from like a sound perspective, it's you like fondling it. I do. Jim says I like fondling it. I do. It's a really nice case. It's super, super fun to play with. Pause. But the sound itself it's full. I was really surprised at how vibrant it sounded and really surprised that like the bass wasn't like nothing overwhelming like that, but there's more bass in the original Pixel Buds, not these, which I thought was a little bit interesting. I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. I do have a bit of a connection issue when I'm mowing, though.
I wonder if it's because they are truly wireless and they don't have that physical connection, and they were worried about balancing issues, so they just turned everything down a little bit.
I mean, it could be. I'm not entirely sure. It hates, like, the Pixel Buds hate when I'm mowing for whatever reason. I have the worst connection when I'm mowing, of all things. Like, I don't know why. It's just
Do they have active noise canceling?
No. And I thought that same thing is like I turned off the adaptive sound. I don't know why. It's always the left one. The left one is what drops out when I'm mowing.
I wonder if it's the vibration, if there's something rattling around inside your skull.
So Larry says, flick it open and closed, and then in a low screech, go, precious. See if I can do it. Ready? My precious. Oh, God. Let me take a drink. Contractor POV, the Jabber Elite 75Ts did the same thing to me yesterday. I don't know what it is. Like, I was mowing today, like literally right before the show, and the left one did not like it when I mowed. No other really connection problems other than when I mow, which is really, really strange. I don't understand why they did that. With the feature drops, hopefully they'll add EQ so you can up the bass. I would love that. I would love to be able to do that, just to make it a little bit more satisfying. But Adam's like, it is so strange. Like, I don't understand. Like, I can put these things in my ear, set my phone down at my desk, walk upstairs, no connection problems. But if I'm mowing and I have the phone in my right pocket, the left one's like, and I don't understand why it does that.
Just because we like going off on tangents on this show.
As if we haven't been when I go, sound like a chicken.
Exactly. What part of the yard were you in when you lost the connection?
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
Are you going because of the wires?
No. I was thinking if you were like in the far back or far front, your phone may have dropped off the Wi-Fi and was trying to switch to the cell signal to pull the music down, and it was interrupting the Bluetooth connection from the phone to the headphones.
Now, that's an interesting phenomenon. I did not think about that. Honestly, I did not check. But now that you mention it, when I was close to the house, it didn't do it. When I was further away from a Wi-Fi point, it would have done it. Now that you've said that. I don't know if that's true though. Like, because I could have very well been connected to Wi-Fi, and I don't know. Like, I truly don't know if I was connected to Wi-Fi. You could be right.
I guess we'll just have to test it for a video. It's more content.
More content, baby. I'm going to switch back to this main camera.
You can give that feedback to the developers at Google, and they'll invite you to I/O next year.
I don't think that's how it goes. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to tell you, like, I don't think that's how it goes. Hey, wannabe geek, my man Dan from Down Under. Down Under. I agreed. At Jim Lynch, easy fix. Hire someone else to mow. So look, I hated mowing. Stats knows this. Absolutely hate mowing. Do not enjoy it. I now have a riding tractor because I have a fairly substantial yard compared to some of my previous homes. I have a riding tractor. I love mowing. Can't get enough mowing. I mow over bushes. I don't cut bushes down. I mow them just because it's satisfying. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And also, Larry says 5G. I did do a live show. What does it say? Stream quality's been updated, something or other. I don't know. Maybe I'm not 5G anymore. I don't know. tangentially related, I did a live stream in the worst out of focus you possibly could, because that's going to be in another future video where I talk about having the ability to stream 5G. Like, I did a 1440p. It was high quality. I'm telling you the truth on this. Even though I was woefully out of focus, I was able to stream using, where's this device? Right here. This device right here, which is the Verizon Wireless S20 Plus 5G. And I got, no joke, 1.5 gigs down and 55 up. I had plenty of internets. No shortage of internets. Loved it.
Let's see, I'm missing the quote. I think it was Andrew. He said the technological revolution.
Technological revolution. I'm telling you what. So let me tell you this much. 5G does not cause COVID. Can we stop that? Didn't cause COVID.
It's a virus.
I'm just telling you, people say it. Let's just get out of it. I'm not trying to get in. I'm not trying to question anybody. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Let's just.
We've tried to keep COVID off of this show as much as we can.
Larry said it. Both Larry and Andrew were there. I was getting text messages from people like, just take a step backwards because you're so out of focus. I was, out of focus. But it was fun. And Larry said it best. The building behind me, which was St. John's Arena on Ohio State campus, looked fantastic. It was super crispy. It was like 5G crispy, 4K, the whole 9 yards. I just looked like total hell.
Were you on the
I was
east side of the pyramid or the west side of the pyramid?
I was on the north side of St. John's.
North.
I was on Lane Avenue Bridge.
I got you. I got you. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched that video yet, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you don't. It was so bad. I was glad that Andrew and Larry and Ben and Kathleen were in it. They were like, you're so out of focus. This looks like trash. Are you filming? I think Larry actually said, are you filming this with a potato? I was like, I looked terrible, but St. John's was crispy. Crispy.
St. John's is a great old building.
Super crispy. But anyway, 5G was amazing. Thanks for Verizon for sending over the device. Verizon sent me this device to test it out. I'm not a Samsung guy, so I'm sorry. I'm itching my forehead. I'm not trying to show the phone. I'm not a Samsung guy.
Everybody take a drink.
I'm not Bert Kreischer, one of that. Like,
well, you have touched your hair about 40 times this show already.
Why don't you shut your hole? I do that a lot. Jesus H. What a show. Okay. Anyway, the 5G is really, really nice. I'm interested to see exactly where this all goes to and from a technological perspective. I was talking about the Pixel Buds, but I got woefully off track.
It's all right.
Now my eye itches again, touching my face. Dude, what did you do? What did you do, you jerk? God.
It's your face. I'm not even in the room.
What did you do? Oh, sweet. I'm sweating. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. Like, I'm sweating uncontrollably. I can't stop touching my face. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, I was talking about the Pixel Buds too. By the way, this is a wirelessly charging case. My other eye itches. I swear to God. I swear to God, my other eye itches.
Welcome to Technically Speaking, everybody. I just broke Scott.
God, I can't stop. Oh my Lord. Lord have mercy. Anyway, this is a wirelessly charging case with the Pixel Buds, and they're very nice. Other than the weird thing where they hate mowing, which I can't really blame them because mowing kind of sucks. You can throw it on a wirelessly charging case and you'd be fine. Or a wirelessly charging pad, also that. Words escape me. Let's talk about Microsoft.
Okay.
Let's talk about hot mess. It's hot mess time.
There it is. There it is. Thank you, Miss Sheila.
Oh boy. I hit all the things. Hot Mess Express. There we go. Rub them with the Pixel Buds case.
Oh Lord. Andrew, don't encourage
Here's
him.
what you do. Just rub it in. No COVID-19 here. You know what this
Yeah,
is?
but
This is Pixel Buds 19.
you're gonna get that 5G pink eye later.
Can I hold them with my eye? Somebody's going to Photoshop this. This is going to be bad. It's going to be Larry of all people. Okay. Well, see, that's what happens. I did. You know what? I feel a million times better. No joke.
Good.
There we go. Let's talk about Microsoft.
Okay.
Segue. Microsoft Surface. Did you hear that they came out with the Surface laptops today?
I did see a headline. I skipped the article.
Fair enough. Look, I'm not a Microsoft person because I use Mac pretty much exclusively for Mac exclusively, either professionally or personally. Next week on Technically Speaking, pink eye treatment using the Pixel Buds 2 and a Microsoft Surface. There we go. That's what we're going to do. This new Surface laptop thing. What are they, like 2-in-1s? Yep. Yeah? No? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're just calling it the laptop too.
Okay, whatever. So that's coming out. It's going to be super powerful. But again, for me, I'm not going to use it. If I were to put in ranking order what I would rather use, it would be Mac OS, followed by a Chromebook, then a Windows PC. That's pretty much what I would like to use it for. But they did come out with their like overwhelmingly popular Surface headphones. Those things were amazing last year or the year before. I can't remember exactly. Whatever the version 1 came out, they were incredible. And now the Surface 2 headphones and their earbuds are going to be coming out hopefully soon. I had heard will be available May 12th, according to Android Police. But the Surface 2 headphones are hopefully a good follow-up to their wildly popular Surface 1s. They, I guess, were just incredible to wear from a comfort perspective. Just something that I had a chance to see them. I never really got a chance to review them, but I did get a chance to see them, and like people raved about them being their travel, like the travel headphones that they use, because they were as good as the Bose QC35, but at a fraction of the cost. So, man, I really wish the Surface Book 3 had updated design or at least a matte black version. Yeah. I'm surprised that they went with some of the colors that they went with. It seems like a safe play. Matte's kind of all the rage right now. So, I mean, I guess theoretically you could get like a matte sticker from D-Brand, I suppose. But that's
you never know. They might surprise you with an updated colors for the Surface Book 3, because one of our favorite tech YouTubers did tweet today that the Surface headphones or whatever, the new headphones are coming out in a matte black version for those. So
Mr. Michael Daniels, thank you so much for the super chat, but that shirt is trash. So I'm just going to say that.
1995.
Shut up. You had the greatest pitching staff of all time in 95.
Of course we did.
That's disgusting. I'm still more upset about, I'm more upset about the Cubs.
Yeah, I would be too.
I was in Disney World for that one. Oh God, that was terrible.
We both were.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That one hurts me deep down inside. So we talked about Android 11 having a party. Let's talk about this a little bit, and I think this is going to be a really interesting topic for the folks in the comments. I would really like to see the comments light up to this very next thing. I agree with the statement that I'm about to make, but I'm going to debate it on both sides.
Okay.
There was a Android Police. I just happened to be perusing it, and they have one author that I'm not going to name names. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this particular individual. I just leave it at that. They make a good point about how the path to $2,000 smartphones is just not sustainable. It's just not sustainable from either a company standpoint or the user standpoint. I just don't see how we can start to go down the path of making $2,000 smartphones a thing. Now, I went on record a couple years ago and said, when the red phone came out. That is, if it was really good on camera and really good at this, really good at that, I'd be fine with paying, $1,200 or $1,500. So we're not that far off from $2,000 smartphones, but we have, yes, Jonathan is exactly right. That was the person who wrote the article. Makes a great point. I agree with this. I agree with David and say, I just don't think $2,000 smartphones is sustainable. We have got to start going the other direction. And I think we're starting to see it. You're seeing the iPhone SE. The thing that people really care about the most in phones is their picture taking ability. And, I want to do a TikTok where and I do a dance and I go like, and I do a thing. And I just don't see, like, if I can get that level of quality for $400, that's really hard to argue with. It's like the iPhone 11 Pro Max was the $1,300 phone. It does a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like, you can see it, and I've shown it here. I'm going to do it again. Take this off the screen. It looks beautiful. The video out of this thing is incredible. It's exceptional, super crispy. It's vibrant. It's all of these great things. But at what cost? Like, at $1,300, is that really worth it? I would argue that I'll bet you if I got an iPhone SE and I plugged it in where that one is, it would look just as good. I bet it would. And so how do I justify, like, we've got to start going closer. Like, I'm fine with like the $800, $900 mark. I just don't know. I don't think we can keep going this way. I just don't see it.
I agree with you. I mean, and I am notoriously frugal when it comes to money in general, but technology in particular. I will research a particular item to death before I actually spend money on it, or more than likely, like is happening right now, I come begging to you, asking for your scraps and throwaways, and because I'm perfectly happy using a device that is 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, as long as it matches what I need it to do. And so far, with my experience with technology, I'm able to get away with that. I'm not nearly as involved in creating like you are. I don't take as many photos as you do, but the photos I do take, I'm happy with because of the hardware and software, as you are such a fan of, computational photography that I'm using. But I think Larry makes a great point. If a device could be universal, a la a Nintendo Switch, where you could plug it in and then it becomes your home PC, or it automatically, think of the next, whatever the next evolution of the Google Chromecast is going to be. If you had the ability to plug a little dongle into your phone and then, you Bluetooth it to the TV without having the extra Chromecast dongle or something like that, to where then your phone basically becomes a keyboard and you can work on your 45, your 50, your 60, your 70-inch TV that you are going to spend $700, $1,000, $1,500 on, because it's one of those things that you use every single day, just like your phone.
So let me go ahead and so, like I told you, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth on this one. So this is where Contractor POV talks about specifically, you can get a 4K 65-inch TV for less than $700. Yes, you can. Yeah, and think about that. Like, that is incredible. Like, that did not used to cost that. That was 3, 4, 5 times that when they first came out. But I'm not seeing the phones go back the other direction. Like, yes, we peaked at, $1,500 phones, and now we're going to start going back the other way. I hope we get to that point. But so maybe we'll get there. But Andrew brings up a point. When my phone costs more than a computer, count me out. And then you just talked about, you hinted at it, if I can just kind of cast my phone up to the screen. Well, actually, you're getting to the point where you have the ability to do that. Like, my phone, the iPhone's on camera right there. It has the ability. I can do all of my work. I can log into PowerPoints. I can do Excel. I can do Word. Now, granted, it's not nearly as good on either like an iPad or a full PC with a keyboard or a mouse or anything like that. But the point is I can do a lot strictly from those apps. And that is a device. Like I can do most of my day on a mobile device. And so then you start to get into okay, well, I was like, I'm not a tablet guy. I don't need a tablet. Like I don't need a tablet. So I can use a bit of maybe an older laptop, an older device, and have the high-end phone because I can do the majority of my work via the mobile. So then that gets into well, do you really need to buy a $2,000 phone? Well, I mean, this is a device that I have on me and use constantly. I still think $2,000 is way, way too much.
I agree.
But the point is like the phones are getting to, like we're in a mobile first world now. That's why you're seeing things like the iPad Pro come out with the new smart or the whatever the new keyboard they're talking about for the iPad Pro, and that coming out and being incredible for a fraction of the cost. But yeah, that's the crazy thing is like being so mobile first. Yeah. So Jonathan Rivera talks about Huawei and Samsung does a desktop mode. I really like the desktop mode. The last desktop mode that I used was on, it was on a Motorola device. It was Motorola where you had to like plug it into the back and it pulled it up where you had like a little mini keyboard. I don't remember what it was called.
That
yeah, it was a hot minute. It was awful. It was hot trash. It was so very bad. I was not a fan of that. So I like this idea of me switching angles all the time. I'm a big fan of this. Although this angle is all up in my business. all up in my business. It's crispy, but it's all up in my business. I don't think I could spend more than what I've spent on that. Like that is by far the device I'm looking at you at right now is the most I've ever spent on a device in terms of a mobile device.
Yeah, I think, and this is more of a personal preference, but I have certain price points in my head where, if something costs under $100, I'm kind of just going to go ahead and do it. I'm not really going to think that too hard about it. My next big price point is $1,000.
Really?
If a phone or a laptop or a computer or a TV is going to cost, right around $900, $1,000, I'm going to think about it for a bit. I'm going to research the heck out of it, and then I'll probably pull the trigger. If anything costs over $1,000, I'm going to pump the brakes real hard, and it's going to need to be something that either I have to live my life, or I absolutely cannot find at a lower price point somewhere else.
Interesting.
Which is why I am totally on board with manufacturers like Apple and Google bringing out the iPhone SE and the Pixel 3a, the Pixel 4a line of, that mid price point phone that still has most of the hardware and all of the software of their bigger, more expensive brothers.
Riddle me this. Are you ready?
Yep.
You can buy so assume that you have a low, medium, high end. See if I can get my hand in there. Low, medium, high end device. Think low end specs, however you want to. You in your own head, that's how you're thinking of it. Okay, you can get a brand new one. This like a 2020 model, brand new for $900, or you can get the high end model of the 2019 version for $1,100. Which one are you getting?
Give me the first one again. Was it the low or the medium?
The low. You get the low end, like kind of like you get the base model phone. So you get a phone that's, here you go. You get a phone that's 64 gigs internal, but is the 2020 version of like all the new bells and sensors. Or you get a 512 version of the 2019 model.
For an extra $200.
For an extra $200.
I probably take the 2020 model again, just for my use case. I save a little bit of money, but I have that full extra year of product support and security updates and all that.
See, I would go the opposite. I would take
but you're a big spender.
No. I would take the fully boated 2019 version. It's the same thing I did with my MacBook Pro when I made the call. It's like I think I got a, let me see, is this 17? I think I got a late 17 when the 19s were coming out or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I got a higher version of the 17, which was still a little bit more than the base model of the 2019. But like, see, contractor P is 512 all day. I am the same way. As like the way that phones are going these days is like the difference between last year's tech specs and hardware versus this year's. I would rather go and get the other stuff on the fully boated. I kind of look at it like buying a car, right? Like I don't buy new cars, I buy used. Like that's just something that I've always done. Other than the Jeep that I just got, like that's the very first new car, and I'm leasing it because I had negative equity. But whatevs. Like, yeah, got that direct. Jessica Leach got the director moolah. You shut up. Love you, mean it. I don't buy new cars. It's just something that I don't do. I would rather get a couple years older and get like the baller edition from a couple years older.
Get that big body Cadillac.
The big body Cadillac version, right? Like I don't want a new Cadillac with the base model V6. No. Nobody have time for that. I want to go back 3 years, same model, but let me go 3 years older, but the fully loaded edition to where I have that V8 big body Cadillac. Like now that's the big body Cadillac I'm looking for. That's what I'm
dropping it all
about.
the way down to 20 miles a gallon.
I don't care. I don't drive that much now.
Yeah, we're not driving at all.
Exactly, you're not driving at all. But boy, she looks great in the driveway. Looks fantastic in the driveway. Oh man, we totally got off on a tangent.
Now that you got the trampoline together, can you get at least one of your cars in the garage?
No, I still have crap in the garage that I need to get rid of. Like there's still a huge giant workbench that needs to go out of the garage that it needs to go. Like I got a brand new toolbox with all my stuff. Fully loaded V8. That's right. Kathleen Garrity, welcome to the party. Late to the party, but that's okay. Ain't no party like a Scott Peachy party. Ain't no party like a Scott Peachy party. Is that What's that song like? What's that song go?
You would know better than I.
It's probably a wildly inappropriate song.
Probably.
Hey, do you see some of the Pixel 4a camera samples that have come out?
Not yet, but I did see that one of the heads of product development might have gotten caught tweeting from a Pixel 4a today or yesterday.
Was it Rick?
I think so. Yeah.
Oops. I mean, honestly, is it really caught? So, like, I had a friend of mine used to work for Motorola, and I specifically asked, like, man, how dare they have so many leaks? Do you know who the people are, like, doing this stuff? And they're like, those leaks are plants. Like, those are done on purpose.
Right.
Like, they're leaks, but they're not really leaks. Because they're done.
Well,
with intent.
it's the same thing that happens in other forms of business and in politics. You call somebody and you give a quote off the record, though, so they can quote a senior administration official, but they can't quote the actual name. That kind of thing.
That seems silly. Give me one thing that you have, like, what is one thing that you have loved by being locked in the house?
Loved is a strong adjective, but it has, and you will definitely understand this. It has forced me to deal with my own stuff in a shorter 4-letter word.
You're mental.
In that I can't escape to a bar. I can't escape to a concert. I can't escape to a movie. I can't even escape to your house and, wrestle with your kids and throw the ball for your dog and, make fun of you and your silly haircut.
You still do that now, and my hair is fine, by the way.
I know, it's perfect. It's amazing.
I cut my own hair, by the way, now, like Barbara Scott.
Yeah. But no, I think the thing that I appreciate the most is it's forcing me to deal with some stuff that I have put off dealing with for the last year. And I'm trying to do it in a healthy way, with the exceptions of Wednesday nights, when I do honor Greg by breaking out different beers. I'm trying to handle stuff in a healthy, productive way where it'll produce some hopefully long lasting or long term results.
Look at you, just growing as an individual. I'm proud of you.
Mm. I'm growing sideways too. That's the problem.
Oh, my bro, growing sideways. I told you I signed the contract to my 600-pound life. It's happening. It's happening. I ate everything yesterday. All the things.
I saw that tweet.
Oh,
but
my God. And I almost
wanna
slapped you for your response. I could have slapped the skin off your face for that. I was about to reach through that phone and it's like, don't you bring my kids into this. Don't bring my kids into this. Those kids eat fine.
I want to go back to the beginning of the show.
Slap the white right off of you.
What is? Oh, I am white to the core. You can't you can't get rid of that. That's baked in. But what is this water challenge that you and the kids are doing?
Oh yeah. My wife wants my son to drink more water because he is like he drinks milk, which is fine because he's just a little dude, which I don't mind at all. But he despises water, and I can't have that.
I wonder where he gets that.
It's
from.
not
No
for me.
Further comment.
It is not for me. Let me put it that way. It's going to stop right there because it's definitely not me. Because I drink. We just talked about Memphis water.
I was going with it.
Yeah, I know. Careful, tread lightly, son. But my thing is, okay, how do we do this? Now, my daughter loves water. Just cannot get it. Both my daughters cannot get enough of water.
Ice, too.
Oh, my God, ice. She loves ice. But anyway, so we have these big bottles now, big 32 ounces. And they have like drink this much by this time during the day. So you do on one left-hand side, it's like 8 a.m. to 1, and then the next is like 2 to 7, and you're supposed to drink 64 ounces of water. And so we have this contest that says the number of days in a row that you can drink your allotment of water. After so many days, you get rewarded.
And what are their water levels? Obviously, because they are smaller people than you or I. What are they trying to consume?
40 ounces.
How much?
40.
Okay.
Yeah, so
40.
it's a 2 20-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
Which is good. I told you earlier, it's like I consume 64 ounces of water, and now soon to be 20. How many ounces? 24 ounces 12. Of Diet Mountain Dew, and then 26 ounces of coffee.
Okay.
All the liquid. I have had to pee like a racehorse all day.
How many times have you gone up the stairs?
Sweet mother of God, I got my steps in. I have the bladder of a 2-year-old. It's unbelievable. Like, it's uncanny. It's like, oh, well, hey, a new meeting start. And that's the worst because, like, I'm on conference calls all day. I had 48 meetings last week. It's a down week this week, and I have 27. Great.
I had 3 today, if that makes you feel any better.
I had 3 before 10 o'clock. Try again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, this is my life. So, but the problem is like, when you're drinking that much water, you're like, oh, I gotta go. Like, I literally gotta go. Like, I cannot be here. Bye. And then so I put in like, be right back. And then I'll trolley upstairs and I'll trolley back down. Yeah, well, this show just got weird. Talking about my hair.
Details. Everybody does it.
Yep, everybody does it. You're right. It has forced a lot of people to do a lot of different things, including me evidently taking more water in. Stats, you got anything else before we leave for the show today?
Not really, other than just everybody keep on keeping on. Reach out to those people that you love, to check in on them, but also to let them know how you're doing, especially if you need any help. And just be kind to each other. There's so many opportunities every single day to put negativity out in the world, but we just don't need that right now. So
I have this crazy idea. Are you ready?
Love it.
Crazy idea. I'm literally thinking this through on the fly. What if we did a technically speaking Google Meet where we just invite people in and hang out like a happy hour, but just for technically speaking, the people who come watch our channel. It's like, you pop in and out, do a thing. Like it's almost like a happy hour. Like, let me noodle on that. Like, leave a comment if you think that would be something that you would be interested, where you just pop in and out. Everybody's just like not live. It's just a Google Meet. It's like just hanging out with friends and stuff. Pop in. That would be interesting. Huh. Yeah, I literally knew. What could possibly go wrong?
If you're not publishing it anywhere, nothing can go wrong.
Can it though?
Hey,
No,
at least we're not using Zoom.
I mean, that's true. Don't use Zoom. Use Google Meet. Google Duo is great too. I use Duo all the time. I love it. Can't get enough of it. Google Meet is where it's at. Miss Sheila says she's in. I'm assuming that's what she says. Very good idea means she's in. I'm speaking on behalf of her. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Stats, where can they find you on the socials?
I am at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine and at Country Smith on the Instagram.
Well, lovely. You can find me at Scott Peachy on the tweet machine and at the Scott Peachy on Instagram. Obviously, you can find me here, youtube.com/technically speaking. Thinking about doing a podcast, not 100% sure if this is kind of a podcast. Again, speaking on the fly. Multi-camera angle definitely did work. I do not think the Cam Link likes having so many cameras plugged in. I have a feeling it's like, nope, we out. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to work on those details. Let me know if you like the way the show looks now. Crispy iPhone over here. And yeah, we'll see you again next week. God knows exactly what's going to happen when I end this show. Thanks for coming, everybody. Be kind to one another, like Stat says. Spay and neuter your pets. Isn't that what Bob Barker used to say?
Yep.
Spay and neuter your pets. Okay. All right, my friends. Be good. Be good at it.
See you, brother.